You have probably heard that turmeric is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods on the planet. You may have even started adding it to your meals regularly, hoping to protect your joints, your heart, your brain. But here is the hard truth that almost nobody talks about. Without one specific ingredient sitting in your spice rack right now, your body absorbs almost none of the active compound in turmeric. Up to 95% of it passes straight through you without ever reaching your cells. Today, that changes entirely. The active compound inside turmeric is called curcumin. It is the polyphenol responsible for that vivid golden color, and it is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory substances in the world. Curcumin works by directly suppressing a biological signaling pathway called nitrogen monofluoride Kb, which functions like the master inflammation switch inside your body. When this switch fires excessively, it triggers the chronic low-grade inflammation that underlies virtually every major modern disease, including arthritis, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. Curcumin targets this switch at its source. It does not simply mask symptoms. It interrupts the inflammation process at the molecular level. The clinical research on curcumin is genuinely impressive. In studies involving patients with degenerative knee joint disease, curcumin extract significantly reduced inflammation markers and improved pain scores compared to placebo groups. In a 9-month study following 240 individuals with pre-diabetes, the group taking curcumin supplements developed full diabetes at a rate 16% lower than the control group, and showed meaningfully better preservation of pancreatic beta cell function. Research into brain health has found that curcumin can inhibit the accumulation of amyloid beta proteins linked to cognitive decline, and studies have observed enhanced neural regeneration markers in participants who received curcumin supplementation. For cardiovascular health, curcumin has been shown to reduce LDL oxidation, improve arterial wall function, and support healthier blood pressure levels. This is a compound that protects the body from multiple directions simultaneously. So why does almost none of it actually reach your cells when you eat turmeric? The problem lies in curcumin's chemistry. It is fat-soluble and structurally unstable. As it passes through your digestive system, a liver enzyme called 3-cypriot-A4 breaks it down rapidly. Before it can enter your bloodstream in meaningful quantities, you can eat curry every single day. And if nothing is present to block this breakdown process, the vast majority of the curcumin you consume will be metabolized and eliminated before your cells ever see it. This is exactly where black pepper enters the picture, and why it matters so much. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine. Piperine directly inhibits the CYP3A4 enzyme that destroys curcumin during metabolism. In practical terms, piperine acts as a protective escort, blocking the breakdown pathway and allowing curcumin to remain intact long enough to be absorbed into the bloodstream. In a clinical study measuring blood curcumin levels, participants who took curcumin together with just 20 milligrams of piperine showed a 2,000% increase in curcumin bioavailability compared to those who took curcumin alone. That is a 20-fold difference. The same curcumin. The only variable was black pepper. How much black pepper do you actually need? The effective dose of piperine used in research is approximately 20 milligrams. 1 gram of black pepper typically contains between 5 and 9 milligrams of piperine. That means adding roughly 1/4 to half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper to your curry or turmeric dish is all it takes to reach this threshold. This is not a large quantity. It is slightly more than most people already sprinkle on food for flavor. The critical detail is that it must be black pepper, not white pepper. White pepper is processed in a way that significantly reduces its piperine content. So always choose whole black peppercorns and grind them fresh for maximum potency. There is a third element that completes this combination. Since curcumin is fat-soluble, consuming it with a healthy fat source provides an additional boost to intestinal absorption. Cooking your turmeric in olive oil, coconut oil, or a small amount of ghee before adding other ingredients allows the curcumin to dissolve into the fat and become far more accessible during digestion. Traditional Indian cooking has prepared curry this way for thousands of years. First, frying the spices in ghee or oil. This was not merely a culinary choice. It was accumulated nutritional wisdom that modern science has now confirmed. Here are 3 recipes you can start using immediately. The first is a golden milk preparation. Warm 1 cup of milk or oat milk and stir in half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Grind 2 or 3 turns of black pepper directly into the cup. And add half a teaspoon of coconut oil or olive oil. Sweeten with honey if desired and add a pinch of cinnamon. The fat in the milk and the added oil handle curcumin absorption, while the piperine handles the metabolism protection. Drinking this in the evening also supports restful sleep. The second recipe is a turmeric rice or egg stir-fry. Heat olive oil in a pan, add minced garlic. Then add your cooked rice or beaten eggs, along with half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and a generous grind of black pepper. The garlic contributes its own anti-inflammatory compounds, and the oil ensures the curcumin is ready for absorption. This entire dish takes under 10 minutes, and delivers a nutritionally complete anti-inflammatory meal. The third is simply improving the curry you already make. Whether you use a prepared curry paste or build from scratch, add an extra teaspoon of turmeric powder. Then make sure to add at least half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Fry your spices in olive oil or ghee before adding liquid. This spice blooming step is the single most important technique for maximizing curcumin bioavailability in a curry dish. Some important cautions to be aware of. Piperine affects how the body processes not just curcumin, but also certain medications. If you are taking blood pressure medications, blood thinners, anticonvulsants, or immunosuppressants, please consult your physician before significantly increasing your black pepper or turmeric intake. Pregnant or breastfeeding individuals should avoid high-dose curcumin supplements. Those with gallbladder disease should seek medical advice before increasing turmeric consumption, as curcumin stimulates bile production. Using these spices in normal culinary amounts is considered safe for most healthy adults, but high-dose supplementation should always be supervised by a healthcare professional. Individual responses vary, and any unusual symptoms warrant prompt medical consultation. When purchasing turmeric, choose organic certified products whenever possible, as quality control issues, including heavy metal contamination, have been identified in some lower quality products. For black pepper, buying whole peppercorns and grinding them fresh ensures the highest piperine content, as pre-ground pepper loses potency over time. The summary is this: curcumin in turmeric is a clinically supported anti-inflammatory compound, with measurable benefits for joints, blood sugar, cardiovascular health, and brain function. But without piperine from black pepper, up to 95% of it is destroyed before reaching your cells. Adding just half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper to every turmeric dish you prepare increases curcumin absorption by 2000%. Add a healthy fat, and you have the complete combination. The change takes 5 seconds and costs nothing. If this video was useful to you, please leave a like and share it with someone who loves curry. Subscribe for evidence-based health information every week. Stay well, and we will see you next time.